Bringing you even more coverage from the Crucible now on BBC Two. It's World Snooker Extra.
Good evening, welcome to Snooker Extra on the opening day of the 2015 Betfred World Snooker Championship. Our featured match tonight sees Hong Kong's Marco Fu, a semi-finalist here in 2006, taking on England's Jimmy Robertson, making only his second appearance here at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. Your commentary team, Terry Griffiths and Willie Thorne.
There's always an air of anticipation around, and even myself, who's not played for 20 odd years, still coming down the parkway into Sheffield. I'm sure my co-colleague Terry Griffiths will say the same. It still gives you a buzz. And all these players now, you've got 17 days. Who will be the victor at the end of the 17 days? Not a bad start for Jimmy Robertson. He played here in 2011. Got beat quite convincingly in that match. Came through on the final kink in his qualifying game to get to play Marco Fu. Well, Terry, I know you've worked a lot with Marco over the years. Is he in? I know your son works with him now. Is he in good form?
Yes, he is in good form. He's lost the last 2 years here to the same opponent, Martin Gould. He lost 10-8, 10-9, I think, or something like that. And so he'll be looking to put his stamp on now. He's moved up in the rankings a bit, and as we know, he can be a very, very high scorer. Can hit in a lot of big breaks in succession. There's not many of the players, only the very top ones. Always lacked a little bit in the power game, but many other players that have been great champions are like that. Ray Reardon was one. He had no power in his game. 6 times world champion. Great player.
I think this is the part of the game that Jimmy's going to have to compete with Marco Fu in the safety department. He wouldn't be as good as Marco in the break building side, so he's going to have to compete in this safety department. And if he does that, it gives him some sort of chance. He's obviously strong second favourite in this match. Good opening, made this, played it as a shot to nothing, trying to make sure he leaves the cue ball outside of the ball carrier, which he has done. He's got choice of yellow or green here, which he'd like to get to the 2 reds just above the black. He'd like to get onto the one to the extreme left of the black if he can. He could get on both of them. Needs that white to bounce. Oh, what a beautiful shot. When you consider that's his first shot on the table, really, he couldn't have judged it better.
Not many players in the game that are better positional players than Marco Fu. Keeps the cue ball very close to the object ball when he's break building normally. Makes things a lot easier. He wasn't in one of the top tips to win the championship, so I'm telling you, if he plays well, he can. He's a handful for anybody when he's playing well.
11.
Went all out for the cannon there and brought one into play. A little unlucky not to bring more than one into a potable position. It was an excellent shot on the black. And Terry was just talking a few moments ago about cue power. You saw there not a lot of cue ball movement into the pack, but as Terry mentioned, his cue ball control is usually so good. It doesn't necessarily, he'd obviously love to have the power, but he's one of the best players in the world without it.
.26.
Well, Marco's got choice of reds here. I'm not too sure whether he can get to the one at the back of the pack. That's the one he'd like to play because it's nice and straightforward to get onto the black. It'll also open another couple of reds up. So this is the reason he's going to risk playing this shot. As you can see from that camera angle, I think he can pot that one. I think his first frame in the morning, Terry, you want to make everything as simple as possible, don't you? You don't want to risk anything.
.27.
Beautiful touch there. Just played that with drag just to slow the cue ball down before it hit the red. Perfect now on the blue. He didn't quite get the contact he was looking for there, I don't think.
I think he mishit it, Terry, didn't he? He played for the back of the pack, didn't he?
.33.
I come off the cushion then quite quickly. Ruined his positional play. Don't think anything goes into the left corner in that pack. That was a very good shot at that sort of power he needed there. And he's got the result as well. Excellent positional shot.
Yes, he deserved a bit of good fortune there. He wasn't sure exactly what kiss he was going to get. But as you see here, it just brushed off the first red and made the full ball contact on the second red. But as Terry mentioned, when you play a shot like that, you deserve a good position shot. Now, that's a new graphic for you. The break is 38. He needs another 69 points at least to make the frame safe. Or at least to get to 69 points to make the frame safe. And he's got a possible 137 on. So that's a graphic we're going to be using throughout the tournament. So once again, if this goes in, his break at the bottom number there will change to 46. What he requires is now, he's got a possible 69 points needed still to make the frame safe, and he can possibly make a 137. So it's a new graphic we've got for you.
.47.
Once again securing a good angle on the blue. Again, good positional shot. Oh, these shots look very simple, but I'm telling you, anybody that's ever played in the Crucible, tell you, when you go out there in the first round, the first frame,
53.
It's very tough.
Got a chance here of just flicking the outside red here to remain on the red in the opposite corner. He won't be trying to hit the red full ball. He'll be trying to hit the one on the left. That's the one he's played for. That's the one he's hit. And in playing this next shot, he opens them up. And of course, red colour red, and he'll be guaranteed of taking this opening frame.
60.
Needs lots of topspin to run through here. Didn't get a. I don't think he got a bad contact.
61.
I don't think he hit it hard enough. I think he was expecting a thinner kiss on the first red. Yeah, no cue ball movement there from Marco. And where the balls are, this frame is still alive.
Marco Fu 61.
Well, the break unfortunately comes to the end with 61, and of course he's still 67 on. But putting the black safe makes Marco Fu strong favourite. Not a particularly good white there, but he certainly put another red safe. He can win taking a blue, but he'd ideally like to get the pink back up this end of the table, with black's being out of commission. So if he can get onto the pink off this red, that would be the best choice. Yes, first chance he gets Jimmy there, and he gets a horrible kick. Just keep an eye on the white there. They saw it just absolutely deadened, took all the pace out of the cue ball. He's going to be very nervous, Terry, isn't he? Can you remember your second visit here?
Yes, my second visit here. I drew Steve Davis. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I was always nervous when I played here. It's one of those venues that really it catches you, doesn't it? It catches you out if you're not quite at it. Beautiful to play in here. The table is always nice to play in, but if you don't bring your form with him, you're showing up badly, I'm afraid.
6.
Well, you can clearly see now Marco Fu past the winning post in this frame.
7.
Marco, we're trying to get on this next red half ball so he can pop the red and move the red off the side cushion and still remain on the blue. So this is one of the occasions where you try and play 2 or 3 shots in advance. As you can see, he's disappointed there that the cue ball didn't travel another couple of inches. So I don't know. Well, the cannon's not on now.
30.
The cannon's on this time though, but he'll do well to hit it. Lots of right-hand side to check the cue ball off this top cushion. Now, how's the weight? Now, does it pass the yellow?
18.
Doesn't pass the yellow. So cut in the middle.
18 on the frame.
Not this time, so Marco Fu did very well that frame. Hardly missed the ball. Jimmy Robertson, one chance, got a kick. Marco Fu takes the opening frame.
Fu to break.
No, breaker from Marco Fu, about half an inch off the block cushion. Covered the reds on the extreme right of the pack. Not quite sure about the one near the blue there, whether it cuts into the centre. It's a very thin cut, even if you can see it. Well, and that virtual graphic is showing us that he can't get to the red into the right centre. Left centre, I should say. So he had one chance in the first frame, he got a kick, and now, first shot in the second frame, he can't see anything.
Looks like he's just playing a negative safety shot here, just rolling up to the pack, but surely he'll be leaving a red in the middle, playing it this way. Well, answers on the postcard what he tried to do there. I didn't see a gap to get back into baulk, but that's what he thought was on. At first glance, not a great opening here for Marco. We'd expect him to pot the red either in the middle from near the green. I think he can cut that one in. If not, he's looking at a long one to probably hold for the pink, but surely that's too dangerous at this stage of the match. It's always nice to almost try and get a stranglehold on the game early. Don't give your opponent an easy chance. He's just coming around now to look if he pots the red and stops the white dead, whether the two reds to the right of the pink will be on. That's what he's trying to cover up, just in case he misses this. I think he's just screwed back. Well, we'll never know now whether he'd have covered that red up or not.
So half chance then for Jimmy Robertson in the second frame. Very good.
One.
Hits the ball beautiful. He's got a cue action that I would call different, but it works for him.
Overscrewed that by a long, long way. His expression on his face tells me he's played for the one to the left of the pink there and overscrewed it by 3 feet. So he's not settled yet. And you don't really want to be playing these with the black not available. That was a bit risky, that one, to be honest.
Foul. Jimmy Robertson 3. Marco Fu 4. One. Four.
Ideally like to finish top side of the blue here and try and get the black into play. You can do that by potting the red just below the black, not off this red, but after the next colour you try and get onto that red behind the black.
5.
And he's played it just about perfectly. Doesn't have to play for it this time if he's not got the angle, but I think he has got the angle. Just coming around now to see if the red against the black is the one he's going to play for. just slightly overscrewed it. He'd like to finish another 2 or 3 inches closer to this red, but
10.
as long as it's not dead straight, he shouldn't have a problem in just screwing back 3 or 4 inches for the black in the same pocket. And there you can see he's just off straight, so it's no problem. That's just nerves. That's all that is.
Marco full 10.
That was a very edgy shot.
Well, knowing Marco, I think it was disappointment on knocking on the red as he should have. I mean, he's such a good positional player. Steve Davis is a bit like that as well when he was playing, you know. When he lost position, he wasn't quite as good as he was in every other department, getting rid of the thoughts he had and assessing the shot as it lay. A good chance gone for Marco there. And you see the difference when he overscrewed it. He said, "Well, you know, down for that red behind the black." They're on the practice table. It's never quite the same. You don't get the same bite of spin on the ball. It's much more reactive when you come out here in the arena. And you can, you know, I mean, if you're like a 1/4 millimeter too low or too high, it can make such a big difference on these cloths. They're so responsive and so quick.
This is what Marco's looking at. As you can see there, he can get through to that red, but with the black being available, he may try and pot it and come around the back of the black into, try and get the black into the same pocket as potting the red. That is on, but it would have to play it pacey. That's the thing. The key thing is, obviously, get as close to the pot as possible, then you'll have some idea, you know, where the white's going to end up. And this looks just about perfect, is it? Unlucky. Unlucky. Hit that nicely.
Marco full 1.
Well, that's all Marco at the moment. Seems to be dominating the match so far. Of course, we're in very early stages, but as Willie mentioned earlier, maybe 19 frames, but you know, if you can get a good start, 4 or 5 frames in front early on, puts a lot of pressure on your opponent then.
He decides to play the thin safety shot off the red is nearest. He's got to be very careful he doesn't cannon the blue in playing the shot. They'll be playing 2 cushions to try and get the cue ball where his cue is now. It's all about missing the blue here. He's done that nicely. He's played an excellent white. Just about made it into the pockets. That's all he needs.
1.
Good angle on the blue. His second chance here at make a good break. He relies heavily on that side of his game. Very strong break builder. And over the shots like that, I must say, that's just
Jimmy Robertson 1.
crucial nerves.
It's amazing, isn't it, how many blues are missed nowadays. You think with having a full pocket to play at, that would be one of the easiest balls to pot. But over the years, the number of blues that have been missed in the middle, easy shots that have cost people matches and frames, well, that is unbelievable. That is the easiest ball I've seen Marco miss this season.
Yes, there's no kick there, it's just a misjudgment on the potting angle. Marco Fu may have been a bit surprised that he was back on the table. You get that sometimes. Well, he's having to screw around the black. You can see he's hitting down into the cue ball. Hit it too hard. The harder you hit it, the less it swerves.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, these reds now are in perfect position. Doesn't necessarily have to play a cannon. Well, he's not finished straight on this red that he'd like. He'd have liked to have been absolutely dead straight on this red. He's not.
16.
So he's going to have to play some sort of cannon here. Just a little flip cannon there,
70.
just down the pink in the middle. And even though he has a great chance here of taking a 2-0 lead,
23.
he's not settled yet, Marco. We've seen that by a couple of shots he's misjudged.
He's always groomed immaculately in Marco Fu. I think Marco's from 37 now. Doesn't look much different from when he came on the tour, really.
24.
But he's always his dress, his demeanour, the way he speaks to people, you know, and he's one that practices very hard. Really top-class professional in all aspects.
Where does he reside when he's in this country, Terry?
Well, first of all, he stayed for a while up in Stirling because he was
31.
with 110 Sport then, with Ian Doyle's company. And now he's in London now. He stays in London. They got a place down there that
32.
him and his wife have. So when he comes over, he stays down there and moves across the country then. And back in Hong Kong, of course, when he gets the chance, that's where he lives. Tell you something, I wouldn't like to do the travelling on the plane that Marco Fu's had to do over his career.
I mean, Eddie Charlton years ago, I mean, he had unbelievable
39.
air miles, as it were, but Marco Fu, obviously residing in Hong Kong most of his life, it's a tough life, a lonely life as well when you're having to travel all around the world. You've got to take your hat off to the foreign players.
40.
Marco brings his wife along with him now, and his child, and his mother-in-law comes along with them as well. It's like a family concern. They're all very happy. And you do need that, as you say, Will, you're away from home so long these days.
47.
There's the graphic at the side again. The lead is 66. Possible 125 points available, but of course that won't
48.
concern Marco. It's just getting over the line, and he's already done that now. Once he passed 65 points, that's what he needed. He's now on 74 and counting.
55. 56.
So a slight chance of a century.
63. 64. 69.
Just having a little glance at the scoreboard to see what colour he needs to make sure we're trying to get a century. He might try and bring the brown into play here, which he has done.
70.
It's amazing, the Crucible. Marco Fu has been in this situation, and points-wise, he would know what it is, 100 out of 100. He's had to study that scoreboard just to see what he needed to make a century.
$73. 75.
Terry mentioned very early on what an amazing break builder Marco Fu is when you consider he hasn't got the power game that some of the players has and he's made 366
78.
centuries in his career. This looks like being 367 and could be the first one at the Crucible this year. I think the Crucible record will go this year, Terry
82.
centuries. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's a massive amount anyway, but I can't see how it can't be beaten this year. There's too many players playing so well.
87.
A bit unfortunate to stop there. Just caught in the unlucky, but another excellent effort from Marco Fu. He's played the better of the two players, and he leads by 2 frames to 0.
Jimmy Robertson to break.
So Jimmy Robertson needs to get a foothold in this match, and quickly. There is 2 sessions, of course, in this best of 19 frames, but whatever happens, don't lose the first session any worse than kind of 5-4, really. Yes, Jimmy will be knowing that, and he's got to just stay close to Marco Fu. He's had a couple of chances in both the opening 2 frames and not scored at all. His highest break in his last visit to the Crucible was only 63, so he's not established himself yet. Very good players, had some great results in qualifying.
I think these players come here, after having a bit of a hide-in his first appearance against Mark Selby, 10-1 he lost first round. You're almost coming here with the thought then, well, as long as I don't get a hammering, I don't mind. I mean, I know that players do think like that. And he's playing Marco Fu, one of the top seeds and a very strong player. But if you can just sort of forget about your opponent and produce your game, you can beat anybody. Because, make no mistake about it, if he was to win the next 4 frames, for instance, Jimmy Robertson, he's likely he can do that. He's good enough. Then his opponent is under heavy pressure all of a sudden. As it is now, he's coasting. That is just, it's about the mind. They're all great players.
Years ago, Terry, I think it was, I don't know, 80% ability and 20% mind. I think it's got very, very close now. I think because they're all so good, it's the one who's got the strongest mind now that have come through. I think it's almost 60-40 when you're at this kind of level.
Well, it's always been mostly mind. It just wasn't recognised, I think. These days, there's so many sports psychologists about in all the sports. People are aware of it, and And I mean, I know with my coaching that I was probably, well, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, perhaps 10% mental and 90 technical, and nowadays it'd be probably the other way about, 90% mental. Like with professional players, I mean, I coach a lot of amateur players as well. It's slightly different. It's more technical then. How good is that shot? A good pot. We forget about the pot because we're looking how good the position is. But gives him a good chance to get started again.
Well,
Michael,
he's 2-0 in front, and he looks just as nervous as he was when he first walked through the famous Crucible curtain. Now, Jimmy, come on, you've got to get yourself in on the act here, get on the thin black, go into the bunch. Get into them. I'm surprised what a strange cue action. Terry mentioned his cue action a little earlier on. Seems to cue a lot further down on the cue ball than other players do. That's unlucky. That's unlucky.
Eight. Jimmy Robertson, 8.
You'd be disappointed there. You can't wait now to do like 50 or 60 points out there. He'll be settling himself down, but if he can achieve that, but at the moment it doesn't look if he can. It's not as if Marco Fu is playing immaculate snooker, because he's not. He's playing well, but he's missed a few chances as well. Now then, does this red go in the middle? He's having a good look at it. Tough shot because you get a screw back for the black. Makes the shot more difficult. Well played, sir. One of his best shots so far.
Don't know whether you can play the little cannon onto the red next to the pink. That would slow the cue ball down and also leave him the red that's nearest the black. He's able to play it slowly enough to hold for that red.
8.
As you can see from the angle we're going to show you now, he's just slightly off straight and he's going to have to go through the reds. Oh dear, what is happening here?
Jimmy Robertson,
Well, I
8.
think, in fairness, I know they're missing easy balls at the minute with the Crucible nerves, but the pockets do look a little bit tight, Terry, this time. There's been a couple of those that haven't slidden off the cushion. We've seen a few of those sliding over the years.
Well, that was a big shot to take on for Marco Fu. No need, there was great rewards there if he got it, but I see he wasn't going to get that shot more than 5 out of 10. And he was definitely going to leave something on.
One. Yep.
Well, if this was in practice now, there'd be absolutely no way that Jimmy wouldn't win the frame at this visit, but it'd be interesting to see whether he's started to settle now, because well, there's another example of how much he hasn't. He got right into the cue ball there, played to kiss that full wall, kissed the half ball on the wrong side.
11.
It's amazing what happens to you at the Crucible. It's the strangest venue in the world. Good recovery, blue or yellow available. Now then, there's lots of value here in playing the little cannon onto the reds next to the pink. Just hit those both full ball. And even though the reds are on, there's no need to play a cannon. I'm not saying he should, but I'd rather have the pink into play at the minute when I'm a little bit nervous. You see, that's how nervous he is. Completely mishit it. Completely misjudged the cannon. I mean, the pace.
70.
When you're nervous, you've got to have as many balls in play as you can. He had an excellent opportunity there to bring the pink into play. He was bound to be on a red. But you saw there playing the positional shot off one cushion, got into the cue ball too much, caught the red. So he's faced with another difficult pot.
$18.
It's not happening for him in the match, is he? He can't do anything right.
No, he had to put too much of his focus on the pot then, because the pot is so difficult when he lost position on the red. But it wasn't a good shot to cannon the brown. Obviously, he was playing to come in and out the balk for probably yellow or green. So a very good chance for Jimmy Robertson is looking to come in to the end here. I hope he doesn't look at the scoreboard and say he only made 18 from that opportunity. He won't be feeling very good about that.
Jimmy Robertson, 18.
He's in front though, 33 points in this frame. I think he's looking at the plant there, the pink in front of that red down to the right of the pink spot. He's looking at knocking one red onto the pink to see if it'll go into the right corner. It looks pretty close. Oh, no. He pushed it the wrong way, missed it by a long way in the end. But that's what he played. He knew he was on the brown if he got it. Nothing wrong with that choice.
The only problem with playing this pot on, it's hard getting the white back into play, but he's done that. So people at home would probably think he wanted to just play it at a pace where he give the pocket every chance, but he had to get the white away from the cushion, and the only way he could do that was playing at the pace he did. So it'd have been nicely on the brown should it have gone in. Now Jimmy's not got a straightforward safety shot here because the path back into balk is tough. Got to miss the kiss on the red to the extreme left-hand side on the way back up, and he's just done that. That's an excellent shot. Oh, unlucky.
Foul. Michael 47.
Marco Fu could put him back in again, which is the choice he's made. Of course, it doesn't come under the miss rule when you knock a black in like that, or go in off, only when you miss a snooker. Miss the balls. And so many choices these days after a foul for your opponent. I thought the best idea is what they play in the shootout. When they play a foul, the opponent can put the white ball wherever he wants on the table. I thought they should have made that rule. I think it would have been brilliant, I do.
Yeah, but every frame would have took about 5 minutes then.
Not if you don't foul, you won't. Also, you can't roll up behind the colour to snooker somebody. You've got to use a cushion. There's a lot of good things about it. Any of the players voted against it. I can't understand why.
It's not like Marco to play such a poor safety shot. He usually gets the cue ball very close to baulk cushion. He hasn't done that this time, so choice of reds for Jimmy to play. Playing the cut in the middle. Oh, need a little bit of help from the red.
1.
Well, he's all at sea at the moment, isn't he? Cannot get on the ball properly.
Man, there's 3 colours available there, wasn't there, with the brown? Green and yellow. You think he'd have been on one of them better. Thin cut this. Well played. That was missable. And the other thing, of course, as you can see, if he would have missed it, would have been leaving Marco Fu right in the middle of the balls. That could inspire him.
5.
Yes, the beauty of the green was not only was it a difficult pot, it was like Terry mentioned, getting round the back of this red, and he's played for choice of reds and couldn't have played it better. And now this has given him his best chance of the match thus far, albeit he has had a couple of good ones already. But the important thing now, he leads by 38 points, and he needs another 25-ish, and he'll be over the line. I think the more relaxed of the two, even though the score might be 2-1 in a few moments' time, will be Jimmy Robertson, because he knows he can't play any worse than this. And he's got a chance of going 2-1. Marco Fu is sitting in his chair, just wondering a little bit. I've missed a lot of easier balls. I don't think I've seen Marco miss as many easy balls in the early part of a match for a long, long time.
That was nicely played. You had to be
15.
Make sure he wasn't getting behind the pink for those 2 reds. Black doesn't go in the left corner.
16.
Didn't quite get into that one. He's still on the pink in the middle.
He's got into every shot too much, isn't he? And that time he thought, well, I won't get into it to overscrew it, and he's underscrewed it, so this is missable. Well done.
$22. $23.
So he can relax a little bit now. He wants to make sure of this red, though, because Marco Fu, one of the best players of getting snookers in the world. There's the graphic
30.
calendars now. That was frame ball.
$36. 37. $37 on the frame.
Well, I'd be very relieved, Jimmy Robertson. It took him a little while to settle, but settle he has now. The break was only 37. But the important part it was he's a frame winner. Jimmy Robertson still trails, though, 2-1.
No, he's left this. Well, or has he? Can he get to the potting angle? He can see the brown, but can he see enough to pot it? Played the snooker.
I think you can see it, Terry, but it's just too thin, isn't it? You just can't quite see enough of it to pot it. And of course, if he plays it thin, the white's going to kiss into the black, so he's going to be very careful if he plays this. Well, he could see enough. He played with a lot of side, though, to see enough.
He done well to cut it that thick. Anyway, he's gone past up to the blue again, so a bit more safety play to come yet. No chance here now for Jimmy Robertson to bring the pink into play, play the brown into the left cushion, bring the pink off it. Something he shouldn't have gone nowhere near that middle pocket then. Now then, it looks like brown ball frame at the moment.
Yeah, the cross double looks on as well here. You fancy him getting very close to this pot, knowing that it's almost guaranteed to be a good safety shot at the same time.
Not quite as planned, but he's got away with that. Got that much too thick. Anywhere on the left side there, of course, with the blue in the pocket, had been okay. So Marco has got a bit more pressure on him now after Jimmy Robertson brought that pink into play.
Well, if the white was slightly further off the cushion, he'd play the double here. I don't know whether he can get enough stun on it, so he's got a very easy safety shot. There's no problem in playing the safety shot, but he'd like to have played the double. He's played this well. Unlucky. Now Marco, with him being 22 in front, I know it's very risky, but he knows that he can't lose the frame at this visit. Up and down with the brown is probably the best choice, but doesn't want to kiss into the black. Looks a little bit anxious at the moment, Marco, and you can't blame him. He's not played at his best so far this morning, but he's still got a chance of leading 3-1.
Yes, he made a 61 in the first and 87 in the second. But in between that, he's missed a few easy shots you wouldn't expect him to miss normally. Now then, this is cuttable, it's very thin. If you can avoid the black, you may take it on. If not, it'll be a safety. That's made it awkward for Marco Fu. Good shot there from Jimmy Robertson. He's taken a chance putting the brown that close to the blue. He could have knocked it in.
Marco was trying to nudge the black safe there and playing that safety shot. That was what was in his mind. Cue ball's running loose. He's playing some strange safety shots at the minute, Jimmy. Look how close that cue ball is to the pocket. Shouldn't have been going anywhere near the pocket.
No ball potted for 9.5 minutes. Mainly because that blue on the corner. Now the black is covering the pocket as well. He's playing a few risky ones, Jimmy. He's come very close to knocking the blue in. He's come very close to playing the in off. Marco may have to play this cushion first here because it's not a straightforward safety shot. And the only problem with playing cushion first, and the brown's coming very close to the top left-hand corner. But I think he's going to have to play that. You're going to have to risk leaving him the long brown. I could play it slowly off the cushion first. No problem with that. Oh, he's playing it straight on. That's okay.
That safety shot was made a lot easier. The fact that the black's now covering this right-hand corner pocket, so even though the brown's in open play, he knew that he wouldn't be leaving a straightforward pot on. Oh, I don't know why he's trying to get in behind the pink off this shot. It's a bit dangerous if he's trying to swing it round. He's played it nicely though. Good effort. I thought he needed to hit it a little bit thicker than that, but he's played it well.
Who put that blue there anyway? Well played. Even if you can see the edge of the brown to the left of the pink. Maybe put it in the brown on the pocket. So I don't think you can see enough of it. The cushion first is not a certainty from the... you take the cue ball then onto the right hand side of the pink. You'd have to get a lot of side on. He's having a look at the score, and it's a good idea there. He's still 22. You can't lose this frame in... Here's how the blue got on the pocket. Like a fool's pot in the green. Try to avoid the blue to get around for the brown and knocked it on the pocket there.
Yes, he could lose the frame, of course, if he didn't make contact with the brown, so he could do with hitting it, and he wouldn't worry about where the brown went, really. Well, if he's got away with that, he's lucky. If he's covered this, he's lucky.
Well, I thought you could hit that brown, you know, off the on the right hand side of the pink with a lot of side. Okay, you may not put it safe, but that's why I said he was 22 in front. He couldn't lose the frame there to be respotted black.
Well, he must be able to get through to this the way he's playing it. It's all about this shot. Not guaranteed to get nicely on the pink. He'd love to pick the white up and put it somewhere where it is now, but obviously it's virtually straight. Whenever they're near the pocket, it's always difficult to guarantee getting perfect position. He's playing the screw shot. Played it nicely. Well done. So we're in for the first respot of the championship. How many more will there be?
$15. Jimmy Robertson.
Very good. Very tough safety bout there, but it's going to be a respotted black. Spin the coin, the referee spins the coin, and player who calls right takes the choice whether he plays or puts his opponent in.
Did you want to win the toss or lose a toss in this situation, Terry?
I wouldn't mind.
I mean, would you prefer to play the shot?
I'd prefer to play the shot, really, yeah.
It's ahead.
So Marco's won the toss there and decided to put Jimmy in. So many ways of playing this, Terry. The up and down, cut onto either side cushion.
Well, years ago, you always played up and down. Like you'd hit the black and it'd go over the pink blue down onto the bottom cushion. But there you see Jimmy Robertson playing today's safety shot, and he's caught it a little bit too thin.
Played that badly. Now, does he play the pot round the table, or does he play to cut it in? Played it round into the middle pocket area, but played an excellent safety shot. Oh, mind you, that black's pulled up a little bit quicker than I thought. Is it a tempter?
Oh, you have to flick some right-hand side and cut that in, I think, but it's very thin. Once again, just playing the safety shot. Now, there's a good chance here that Mark would take the double on. Very easy safety. No, he didn't take the double on. He's played a good safety shot. Plenty of distance between the two balls.
I'd be so reluctant to play that cut onto the side cushion. They seem to be playing that a lot more these days. I mean, he might even play it here, but I I mean, there's no pressure when you're playing a double, is there? You play the double without any pressure. I don't think the double was quite on there. I think the double, the angle was a bit tight, but you know, he's going to play it up and down this time, and that's a good shot. That's a good shot.
Well, the other problem, of course, when you're playing safety on a black like this is you're under a lot of pressure, and you're going to lose the frame with one bad shot, or win it with one good one. Good stuff. Both players have been playing good safety late on in this frame.
The first 3 frames are around the 14 minutes and 18.5 minutes, both the other two. This is by far and away the longest frame of the match, and obviously the most important now as far as Jimmy Robertson is concerned. To come out of this session 2-2, he'll be certainly the more delighted, the two players, the way he's played. Oh, he's underhit this a little bit. He's underhit this a little bit. He'll definitely be taking the pot on here, Marco, I think. Mind you, he has rolled that extra roll. So being ultra careful, Marco, at the minute, not risking anything.
And those very thin cuts are not to be recommended under this type of pressure. The cloth is so fast, the cue ball tends to hit the cushion, come up and down the table. You can leave the black on the hole. This is not an easy one. Once again, a lot of distance between the two balls gives Mark for a glimmer that he may get a chance, and he has. I don't know what he played then, whether he played it for the side cushion or up and down, but either way, he misjudged it. So the first clear-cut opportunity on this black for Marco Fu. And he's got it. The white's not going to go in off. It's close to it.
7 in the
Marco
frame. Marco
Fu
Fu.
takes that 4th frame, and he leads now by 3 frames to 1.
Quietly as possible, please. Thank you. Jimmy Robertson to break.
Mid-session interval over, and Jimmy Robertson will be a little bit perturbed that he didn't come out of that session 2-2. Another 5 frames to play in this session. No worse than sharing the next 4 frames will be in his mind. Obviously, anything more than that would be a bonus. There's the graphic. And we can't really see any straightforward safety shot. You can see the red to the extreme left-hand side. But can he hit it thin enough to get back into baulk? And obviously then, if you can, the off's on. So he's playing the one below the pink. A little bit too thick. So first chance to Jimmy Robertson in this frame.
That's a good starter then for Jimmy Robertson. Not the easiest shot to pot those and stand for the black.
Eight. 9.
I think this is the first time Jimmy's been in the match
16.
amongst the black early on in a frame.
70.
So a good chance here to stamp himself on this match. As well, he said he was 3-1 down. He'd be a little disappointed, but just saying that he didn't play that great. He can play a lot better than that, I can tell you.
24. $25.
Keeping things simple.
32.
Another easy red here, and not sure position for the black. No, he's had a
33.
kick, but he's just about come far enough to make the black available, and he can gain position off it for the next red.
Play for choice of reds there, and that's the art of break building. Give yourself options. You'd ideally like to have been that cue ball another 2 inches higher, so you could have played the one just to the left of the black, left of the cue ball. But he's still nicely on this red. He's done choice of reds in the middle or the corner. And as Terry mentioned, this is the first time he's been in around the black spot area. The break's already at 40, which was of course 5 reds, 5 blacks. Got a slight bad contact there as well. Yeah. That bounced. Took the pace out of the cue ball.
If he's right behind this black in a straight line, it would be not too bad, bridging over the red. But when you go to a judge pot in angle and position, makes it very difficult. You can see how he's sitting down into the cue ball there. Excellent, excellent shot. The only thing on his side there, he could play it at a very slow pace, so even if he missed it, he would have covered the pocket for this red.
49.
This will make him feel a lot better.
It didn't have to go into them this time because there's still 3 loose reds he can play. And having looked extremely nervous in the opening 4 frames, he's now
56.
8 reds, 8 blacks. 7 reds, of course, 7 blacks, 56. His highest break at the Crucible in his last visit was a break of 63. He looks like beating that here.
$57.
The red just below the pink is the one he's looking to see if it pots. But this is if this was one of the established players, one of the players that played regular on television, you'd be talking about the 147 here. For Jimmy, you're just talking about making sure of winning the frame. That's the key thing.
Yep. 64.
So that's his highest break at the Crucible.
$65.
Now once he pots the next red after this black, he'll be going all out for the maximum. Just having another look at this red, and it does
72.
look like it pots.
$73.
Now he's got the angle on this black now to play on the red. He's looked at quite a few times, but the only problem is if he doesn't finish dead straight on the red, he can't get back on the black. That's a poor shot.
$80.
Now, if he bounces this in, he could play the cannon off the pink and force the run through and get onto the black. Oh, what a shame. What a great break, though, that break of 18. Going for the maximum, but Jimmy Robertson will be more pleased in winning the frame. It's taking him just one behind now. That's 3-2.
One. Three.
And then Marco Fu's been caught. He's been in front all the way through this match up to the previous frame, and
Four.
perhaps that'll just shake him up a bit. Oh, that's not what he wanted. A bad kick there. Out of position now. Would have a straightforward red along the cushion there. It's a very thin cut as it is now. And there's one in the left centre as well, but that's also difficult. I don't know why, but it's one of the theatres here, the Crucible, that makes you panic a lot. Don't get in other places, it's not the same anyway.
And there it is, the magnificent Crucible Theatre. Two-table situation all the way through to the semi-final. It goes down to one. Means to miss the blue. End of break.
15. Marco Fu 15. Foul. Marco Fu 4.
Could play an aggressive safety shot here, bringing reds into play, but the red at the back of the pack will probably cut by the other red into the corner if he wants to play that. I was thinking of playing the white next to the green and opening the reds up, but he's not playing that. Not the best safety shot from Marco there.
a fraction. And he'd been right up behind the green there, and Marco Fu would have been real problems. Still got a tough safety shot to play. Just knock that other red over to the corner pocket. And caught it thin enough. Maybe a chance here for Jimmy Robertson to pot this red in the right corner. If he's got the nonchalant angle to avoid the red and the black on the way back. Take it on. Normally a good long potter. Excellent. Very, very good.
1.
Marco Fu is outdoing him on the long potting. So far in this match, 75% for Marco Fu. That's very good.
It's such an excellent long pot. It's a little bit unfortunate not to have a nicer angle on this blue than this. We might be better off taking the green, really, to guarantee position. But playing the blue, he's going to have to play into the red to hold the cue ball. That's a clever shot, well done.
6. 7.
Nicely played there, just flicked off the second red with a touch of run inside. Good chance now.
$14. 15.
May well go into the pack here. Oh, well. I was just going to say he's guaranteed
Jimmy
to
Robertson,
be on that
15.
red into the corner. Not quite sure if he missed that or is a bad contact, but either way, the chance has gone by after that good long red started off.
Marco is really going through it at the minute out there. Since he came back from the interval, he's looked very, very shaky. We all talk about the crucible nerves. We all talk about the first round matches, that everybody wants to get into the best of 25 situation. You do that by winning the first round.
1.
But they're all match sharp, these players. There have been so many tournaments been played just lately. They should be all at the top of their form. He's not getting a lot of cue ball movement at the minute, Jimmy, as well. He's a bit tight in the arm, I think.
8.
Not getting through it as you would like, but he's still got right back into this match. And what a chance this is to go into the lead for the first time.
Nine. 16.
I haven't seen a few balls missed that they've looked in. These are the kind of shots you've got to be ultra careful with. Don't seem to be going in off the jaws at the moment. But that was
7.
straight into the heart of the pocket. That is so careless, I can't tell you. That was so straightforward, that cannon.
24.
A lot of players would have played this to screw him for the red in the opposite corner. So he took a slight risk there playing that way, but it's still a cannon he should have got.
Jimmy Robertson, 24.
Jimmy Robertson's not too happy sitting in his chair. You can't blame him. He thought he was going to win the frame from there. And he may still do. But nothing worse when there's clear-cut opportunities to win frames and don't clinch. Just puts that seed of doubt in your mind the next opportunity you get.
Well, good pace of cue ball, but has he covered the red? I think he has. That's an excellent shot. That was a really tough safety shot, and he played it to perfection. Have a look at the virtual graphic here and see what he can see. You can certainly see the reds on the pink spot. Of course, that's no good unless he can hit the outside of the reds, and he can't. So Marco has played a real telling safety shot there. And at first glance, I can't see a way back into baulk, so he may have to leave the white at this end of the table. Maybe play cushion first and just run through the red off the side cushion. That's what he's playing. So it's all about missing the kiss on the second red if he plays that. The red that's nearest the red he's playing. Doesn't want to kiss that with either cue ball or object ball. And this is risky. Pretty good though.
Left Marcus for a good chance now to play a Italian safety. Maybe a snooker behind the green.
I was just going to say, can he get behind the green from the red? Can he hit it thick enough, Terry? I think he can he?
Soon find out now. No. No. If the red goes into the left corner, that's not his best safety shot. I don't think it does. Well, it may, if you're right behind it, you could drop it in slowly off the knuckle, but over distance, you'd be leaving that one alone.
This is dangerous. Surely he's not trying to play thin behind the back of the two reds that are near the pocket. No, he's not. He's just leaving the white at this end. He was in all sorts of trouble there, Jimmy. I think this red will pot in the middle. And if he's straight, it's a mistake. But if it's not straight, he might not play it. That's obviously, it's very tight here at the Crucible. We can't necessarily get right in behind the shots because it's so tight. There you can see that I don't think it pots, so he's played a safety.
little awkward, that shot. Had to raise the butt of his cue right up in the air to try and impart some backspin. Didn't quite catch it right, and then brought a red into play. I must say Marco Fu's long potting has been exceptionally good in this match so far. 77% success long pot, 63 to his opponent. I think 60 is always good. Anything above 60 is good.
The fact that he's come that little bit too far for the blue and not quite far enough for the pink. The red next to the green doesn't pot, so got a little bit to do with the cue ball here. Yeah, there's always going to be a problem, that missing that kiss. In saying that, the kiss has probably helped him this time because he's on the dead straight red to get on the black.
6.
So he's been a bit fortunate there. Once you've made a kiss on the bought colours, you'd expect him not to get a good position, but he has.
Seven.
Wow, that one would have hurt the back of the pocket.
It's the problem for Jimmy now. He's having to sit in his chair knowing that he should have been in a position to do this himself. He missed a very easy cannon from black to red to get onto a red, and he knows now that he
40.
should be leading 4-3. There's more than likely he'll be trailing 4-3 in a few moments.
15.
Yes, I think it's very important out there. Your strategy's got to be that when you get momentum, you've got to recognise you got momentum, and I don't think Jimmy Robertson did. The top players always recognise, and they push on from there.
21. $22. $28.
Well, ideally, he'd love to get onto the green off this red, but as you can see, it's not straightforward to screw back. He may decide to play the screw back to get onto the blue or the green, but I'm not too sure the angle he's got on the red. We may be able to show you the angle he's got on this red. It looks like if he plays the screw shot, he's almost going to kiss into the blue. I mean, he'd love to get onto the green off this red. But may find it too dangerous. Let's have a little look. Well, he got a kick. He's played to screw for blue or green, and look where the white's finished. And as it happens, it's finished perfect on the pink to play two cushions to get onto the red in the middle. That's one of the worst kicks I've ever seen. And amazingly enough, the red didn't bounce. It just went in. Now, the angle he's got on the pink now is not too bad. As long as he misses the jaws of the middle pocket, he can play choice of pockets. If he hits it, the correct pace is on the yellow in the red in the yellow pocket. If he overhits it, is in the red in the middle. Just a case of missing the jaws. He's played a little bit aside to check it up a little bit. So if there's ever a good kick, that might have been it.
35.
Not the easiest of reds here, they're off the cushion.
Marco Fu, 35.
I think these days, the modern day player, as we say, they don't like just dropping the ball in, apart from Mark Williams, who's an expert at it. They'd rather be hitting it with a little bit more pace, a little bit solid, with a bit of stun on. Could cost him the frame, most likely will.
I was very surprised though, Terry, dead straight. I couldn't see Marco missing that red, to be honest. That's just purely tension. Oh, Jimmy Robertson, if he whatever happens, he knows he's had every chance in this session to take a lead, and he may just do that here.
6.
Overscrewed that by quite a considerable margin. May have to play for the brown in one of the middle pockets now.
9.
It's okay. So up to and including the pink. Let's take the lead for the first time.
13.
Neither
18.
player looked like losing this frame really. They've both been in the balls on 2 occasions each, but the last mistake came from Marco when he missed the easy red. And Jimmy Robertson will be absolutely delighted to have won the 3 frames after the mid-session interval. He trailed 3-1. He now leads by 4 frames to 3.
Robertson to break.
So here we go, a topsy-turvy session. One of them is going to be one in front. Who will it be? Jimmy Robertson breaking off in the last frame of this session. And I think of the two, probably Jimmy will be more pleased really, because he wasn't really in the match earlier on, and Marco's gave him chance after chance to get back into the match. Just be playing the containing safety shot here. White on the back cushion. Whenever you play that shot, you just pray you don't get a kick, because if you get the kick, it takes all the pace out of the cue ball, and of course you would leave the reds on either side of the black, but played that one perfectly. What a good safety shot that is. I mean, the important thing was covering the yellow, the red that's to the left of the yellow there, because he wanted to cover that to make sure he hadn't got an easy safety shot for Jimmy. But to cover the other 14 reds as well is excellent. Here's the virtual graphic. See, there's nothing available at that end of the table. He's playing a little swerve shot now to play the one that's on the side cushion, and he's played it well. And it's his turn to have a bit of good fortune, because I think that's covered. Excellent safety shot from Marco, covering the left-hand side of the pack again. We'll have another look at the virtual graphic to see what he can see. He can see those reds down that side, but again, you can see nothing down the right-hand side available. And from that angle, no way he can get back into baulk. So he's playing the containing two-cushion shot. A little bit hard, doesn't want to kiss his half ball. No, he's played it nicely.
Very, very good. He's a bit disappointed going back to his seat that he didn't get further down into the baulk area, but at least he's hadn't left Marco anything easy on. And it was a good pot. Good ball needs to slow down though.
1.
That's not great. Such a different view as three-quarter ball on this blue. This is quite a thin cut here.
Just wonder whether he can play it hard enough to come on off the cushion and play the cannon into the black, which he has done, which brings the black into play. Excellent shot. Excellent shot.
6.
I think he's using the black as a buffer, really, to stop the white anyway, wasn't he? But it turned out well.
Not too sure whether, if he does pot red and black, where the black will go. So he may be reluctant to play for the black in the middle here if he decides to play for another colour.
7.
He'll leave the black alone until that red is away from the black spot. Don't think the black will go on the spot there, so he'll definitely be reluctant to play on the black.
Well,
he's got the perfect angle on this red to play the cannon to get on the pink in the middle, but once again, will the pink then be out of play? I mean, I think the pink will go into its own spot, but will it tie it up? If it does, he's better off taking 2 reds and 2 blues. Yeah, I think that pink will go on its spot and that'll put it out of play. So it's never straightforward, snooker, is it? There's always stumbling blocks and things balls that have to be moved. I mean, some players would play the cannon into the pink here and just try and get that pink spot area free. But decided to play on the loose red. And disappointed.
18.
Like a Judd Trump, who's a very aggressive break builder, would have probably played into the pink there and just tried to free the pink spot area and bring all the reds into play as well. You only do it when you have to do it. I mean, you didn't have to do it there because it's reds all over the place that are available, but the colours are not.
19.
Well, we'll know in a few moments' time whether the pink's going to be out of play. So he may have missed a trick 2 shots ago, not playing the blue into the pink and freeing the pink spot area. Yeah, well, there you are. You see, it just shows you what happens if you
19.
lose position. You get a little bit deflated and you're thinking, well, this has been a good chance and I've made a mess of it. Let's just see whether this moved at all. No, it didn't move. That's where it was always hitting. So it was a misjudgment. There's been a few half kicks, Terry, hasn't there, today? Like when they're playing little screw shots, nothing seemed to be happening with the cue ball. Well, whatever happens here, he should get rid of the red on the black spot next, because the pink, I think, is going to be tied up. So he needs to leave a possible chance of getting the black back onto its own spot at some stage.
7.
Pink may be available into a corner pocket. If it is, you can screw back on and off the cushion for the pink.
Eight.
Well, for somebody of Jimmy's class, that's a poor shot.
Jimmy Robertson, 8.
With the pace he played that, he had intentions of potting it. Now then, good shot in this brown. He's gone too far. How did he go that far down? It's very quick, the cloth, isn't it? You think he's guaranteed on a red if he pots the brown.
Well, I must admit, he's concentrated so hard on potting the brown, and once he potted the brown, he can't believe he's not got onto a red. I suppose he did pot it a little bit thinner than, he didn't go into the centre of the pocket, but that would have only took 3 or 4 inches of pace out of it. But it was a tough brown at the pace he played it.
I'll go full 5.
What an excellent pot. What an excellent pot.
1.
Well, it's been one of those matches, isn't it? Neither players took the game by the scruff of the neck, but I mentioned earlier, Jimmy Robertson, whatever happens in this frame, will certainly be the more relieved of the 2 players to have stayed in it. And of course, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. He's not going to have a lead. Marco looking very bemused there.
Yes, whoever's 5-4 down going into the next session be devastated, I think. Lots of opportunities for both players.
3.
I mean, if you're confident and buzzing, you'd play this round 2 cushions, a little bit aside to get onto the black. Oh, I won't be stunning it in. Are you playing the stun?
4.
I mean, that's dangerous playing it that way because you're not guaranteed to get good position, and that's what's happened. He hasn't got good position. I mean, I can't believe he's played to screw that one in rather than just run it round 2 cushions. Making it hard work.
He's having a good look at it, but the truth of it is when he had to cut the blue that thin, he was always going to come back up to that part on the table when he went beyond the other red. No, that's a good recovery. Very good.
10.
Yes, excellent pop. He's the wrong side of the blue now. A confident player would be knocking the pink in here. I wasn't sure he had the angle to do that. I thought he was the wrong side of the blue, but he's played it pretty well.
15.
But unfortunately, he's not played it hard enough to get on and off the cushion. This red 2 away from the pink pots, and he can run through for the black.
Never a certainty, though. It's not
Robertson,
from under the
15.
cushion like that. They're tough pots.
Is that the 4th or 5th pot we've seen missed? That's just a run through, dead straight. Quite a few.
One.
Well, I can see this sort of chance normally with Marco Fu, he'd clinch here. As I said, either player has only got 4 frames after the session will be devastated. Marco Fu because he's 3-1 up and dominated, and Jimmy Robertson because he came back into it and got a 4-3 lead and a chance to go 5-3. You can't make them all, though. You can try your best, but you can't make them all.
That was a kick as well, and with him having a kick, it's amazing he didn't kiss the red.
16.
17 points in front, 3 reds, 3 colours. Takes him to a 5-4 lead.
Seventy. 24. 25.
This is the key shot, just to make sure you're high on this red, which he is. So Marco Fu will be pretty delighted, really. I mean, started so well to have got out of this session still in front. He's given Robertson chance after chance in this match to get back into it. He did get back into it winning those 3 frames on the trot.
33.
But he's won the last 2 of this session. Shouldn't be too disheartened, really, Jimmy, because Marco Fu is a class player, but he knows he could have probably won this session 6-3.
41.
Yes, if it were your school report, it would be could do better. And that's what could be said by both these players.
44.
Seems to be cueing lovely when he gets in the balls, Marco, but he just seems to get a little bit perturbed when he loses position. He's missed a couple of easy balls.
53.
All to play for tomorrow, though, Jimmy. Don't be too worried about this. You've gone out of it 5-4, not playing at your best.
59.
So a very nice break of 66 to finish the session, but both players slightly disappointed. But Marco Fu goes into the second session, leading by 5 frames to 4.
So it's a finely balanced match with Marco Fu taking a 5-4 narrow lead into the final session. And you can see the conclusion of that match when we come back with further live coverage from the Crucible at 10 a.m. on BBC Two. That's all from us here at the Crucible on the opening day of the 2015 Betfred World Snooker Championship. It has been a cracking day of snooker. One of us here. Bye for now.
Ever since the Tavi, I keep hearing these things. Someone's gonna kill you. They're gonna drown you in that dress.
You're cracking up, mate. Can't you see that?
Just go! Quickly!